This country is getting a taste of not only what happens when you ban abortion, but when you allow religious zealots to write those abortion bans. And what happens is people who do want to have kids are immediately also put in danger, and their lives are threatened. And we're starting to understand that now. Remember, 1 in 4 pregnancies ends in miscarriage, right? How do you most effectively and safely remove fetal tissue when you're having a miscarriage, when you've had a miscarriage? Processes known as the D&C or a D&E to extract that fetus that, again, not viable, person wanted to be pregnant, etc. Not so anymore. Under draconian anti-abortion laws, we're now seeing women who are miscarrying be left to bleed out and to actually risk infection. And one of those women is Marlena Stell of Texas. And this happened to her last year, actually, if you remember, right after the abortion ban, the fetal heartbeat ban, that essentially deputized citizens of Texas to become vigilantes and to sue individual abortion providers and doctors. Right after that went into effect, she was miscarrying, and here is part of her story.
Stell's nightmare started out as a dream come true. After months of trying, she became pregnant late last summer.
We were super excited because we didn't think I could get pregnant.
An ultrasound at 7.5 weeks showed all was well. But at an ultrasound 2 weeks later,
she said, there is no heartbeat, there is no viable pregnancy.
Stell asked her doctor for a standard treatment, a surgery to remove the fetal remains. She says her doctor refused. That surgery, commonly known as a D&C, is the same procedure used to abort a living fetus.
She said, well, because of the new law that's passed, you're gonna have to get another ultrasound for me to be able to even do anything for you.
Right, so her doctor refused to give her this procedure. And what happens when someone is refused a procedure like a D&C for a routine miscarriage? Let's go to that right now.
She can develop an infection that can make her sterile and never able to have children again.
Or even worse.
When the baby dies inside, the baby starts to release parts of its tissue that can get into the mother's blood supply. It can cause organ failure. It can cause death.
Organ failure, sterilization. These are the results of the so-called pro-life anti-abortion bans that places like Texas are currently undergoing. Obviously, a lot of this, and we're gonna get into, has created a legal and ethical nightmare for doctors, but also for patients themselves. What is the final act of what happened to Marlena? Where is she at now? What happened to her?
She did finally manage to find a doctor to perform her D&C, but it took 2 weeks. She worries the nightmare could happen to her again. Are you trying to get pregnant again?
No.
Why not?
I'm worried about getting infected, have something happen to me, and then my daughter's left without her mom.
Now they're contemplating moving away from Texas, away from their extended family, just so they can try to get pregnant again.
That's right, she is already a mom, wanted a little brother or sister for her daughter, and was denied that, now too afraid to get pregnant again. Again, I just wanna reiterate that happened last year, but this year it's only worse. In fact, just a few days ago, the Texas Medical Association sent the Texas Medical Board a letter saying, you gotta do something about these bans because our hospitals are completely in disarray. Physicians are not treating ectopic pregnancies. In fact, one Central Texas physician was told to wait until the ectopic pregnancy ruptured before treating it. Ectopic pregnancies are when a pregnancy it begins outside of the uterus. So in the fallopian tubes, for example, it happens to 1 in 50 pregnancies. Now that's not a lot, not as much as 1 in 4, but still life-threatening. So it's not just miscarriages, it's ectopic pregnancies. Again, all people who wanted to be parents.
So first, let's start with the obvious. Republicans are monsters. So this is not a close call. The doctor says you have to get the dead fetus out, otherwise it can kill the woman who is alive. And the pro-life party says, no, I don't care about that woman at all. Let her die if we want to. The fetus is already dead. What difference does it make? Nah, I don't know, man. I just want to control her body for 2 more weeks. I mean, if you're a Republican, you're stating, I don't care about her life at all, at all. Organ failure, have it, I don't care. A dead fetus is worth more to a Republican than an alive woman.
Yep.
Facts. So now when I say things like that on the show or in social media, I get largely 2 reactions from right-wingers. One is, oh, no Republican actually believes that. Really? Because it's the law. And so she didn't make it up. She actually had to go through that. And by the way, we now have story after story. In fact, our very next story in the show is about something similar in Louisiana. And so, and today, and just yesterday, Idaho GOP overwhelmingly passed a revision to their platform. The law in Idaho was a trigger law that once Roe was overturned, you get to, Idaho got to outlaw abortion, but it had exceptions for rape, incest, and the life of the mother. And the Republicans in Idaho thought that was far too moral and decent. They said, how can we be way more immoral towards women and crush their lives and oppress them in every possible way? Oh, I got an idea, rape and incest, of course. No one cares. There's no way that we are going to care about a woman getting raped or suffering from incest. She'll have the rapist baby and she'll like it, said the Republicans. Look, these are facts. If you don't like it, then don't be a Republican. But on top of that, they said, we don't give a rat's ass if the mom dies. They took away the exception for the life of the mother. These are the pro-life people. They're not pro-life at all, at all. They're pro-oppression, anything to oppress women, and they love it. They love it. So the second reaction that I get from right wingers is, well, she shouldn't have had sex. Oh, okay. So it is about controlling the woman. That's what I thought. Okay. And by the way, you're not bitter that she's having sex. You're bitter that she's not having sex with you. So let's keep it real. The loser men of the Republican Party who sit there pathetic and go, yeah, I want to control what they get. No women will be with me. How can I control them in some other way? Okay, so that's just the reality of the pathetic state of the Republican Party. And if you don't like it, well, I like that lady dying a lot less than you dislike being called names that are perfectly accurate.
Yeah, I mean, and this will impact their own families, right? Oh, but maybe they'll be able to like fly their families and their wives and their spouses across the country to find an abortion, right? Maybe they will get the pill and then tell no one about it. But again, this is not just elective abortion. This is non-elective abortion, also known as miscarriage, right? And so this is about maternal health. And as someone who's 6 months pregnant, you're damn right I'm giving a lot of attention and care a lot about maternal health because knock on wood, but if something were to happen to me and I live in Texas, oh, forget it. I am in trouble. I had a friend recently miscarry. If she were outside of California, forget it. She's dealing with that, not to say nothing of the physical pain, the emotional pain of being denied care, of having your already a loss that you didn't want be prolonged and protracted because these doctors won't attend to your needs is absolute criminal. So Cenk is right. Let's just read that the Idaho GOP convention in Twin Falls on Saturday, the delegates approved changes to the party's platform that criminalize all abortions, no exception for rape, incest, or to save the life of the mother. They don't care. The platform states, we affirm that abortion is murder from the moment of fertilization. Funny you start there. What about before? All children should be protected regardless of the circumstances of conception, including persons conceived in rape and incest. All children, they don't even have a heartbeat. And I guess final point, So the Texas heartbeat bill, for example, bans abortion at around when a fetal heartbeat can be detected. But oftentimes you don't actually ever get a fetal heartbeat. It's not clear. And especially in cases of pregnancy complications, you might never get a heartbeat, right? You might be beyond 6 weeks, 7, 8, 9 weeks, and you don't, that's the whole point. And if Texans say, okay, well, we're not Idaho. We've got carve outs. We're not that awful. We're not that ruthless. We carve out for the life of the mother. Here's a mom, including so many others, who are being forced to take ectopic pregnancies to their natural conclusion, which is what? Their death, pretty much. Their emergency room death. Or they pray that if they have a rupture, that they'll hemorrhage, but they won't hemorrhage too much. And there won't be many people in the ER that day, and damn it, they'll be fine, and someone will save their life.
Yeah, no, I have no respect left for any Republican. So if you can't understand that a pregnancy happens inside the uterus, and if it happens in the fallopian tubes, that it has no chance of survival, you don't understand anything. Then you don't understand that 2 + = 4. You don't understand anything. And the thing about the Republican Party is now they celebrate their ignorance. They're like, yeah, we don't know how pregnancies work. We don't care. When do we get to make the woman suffer? Yeah, that's you guys, Republicans. That's exactly who you are. The Idaho vote was not close. You know what it was? It was 412 to 164 in the GOP caucus for saying we don't care at all if the life of the mom is in danger. The government is to seize her body. Big government is to get between her and her doctor. She is not allowed to make that private choice. We finally got her. We're back in control of women's bodies. Say the sick sons of bitches who are Republicans in this country. So just admit it. You don't care about life. All you want to do is to have the power in what you would call the freedom to oppress others. And by the way, Francesca's right about everything she said there, including the family of the women. Well, not all of us are monsters like you guys, Republican men. So I know plenty of guys who had wives who had miscarriages. Very similar to that lady in the report, where the fetus is not alive. It has it doesn't have a heartbeat. It's not a functioning pregnancy. And we decent men of the world think, well, let's help her immediately. The indecent, immoral men of the world, otherwise known as Republicans, go, maybe we let her die. Who cares about her or life? Finally, we're back in charge of other people's bodies. That's the state of the Republican Party. That is an indisputable fact. Don't come and tell me that, oh, you don't agree with that, but you voted for every single legislator that does agree with that. That means you do agree. Don't come to me with, well, I got tax cuts, so I don't care about women and I don't care if they die. Okay, then you're a terrible, terrible person. Okay, so go just, you don't understand science, you don't understand anything. It's impossible to not be super frustrated by these guys. And finally, the shouldn't have had sex argument. Okay, so that woman's life is in danger for at least 2 weeks in that particular story. It could be a lot longer. And if it's in the fallopian tubes, they're gonna kill all the women that have that problem. That's 1 out of 50. That's 2% of all the pregnancies in the country. That is hundreds of thousands of people. They are going to risk killing them all. And so then they say, well, I shouldn't have had sex. Okay, first of all, duly noted, no one should ever have sex with a Republican man. They are dangerous, okay? And they are stupid, and they will try to ruin your lives. So don't make that mistake, women of America. And second of all, okay, how about the men who had that? You know, sex is not a one-way street. I know for Republican men it is. It's you do it all on your own. But normally, what you need someone else as a partner, okay? And so if her life is in danger, can we put your life in danger for 2 weeks? Can we hang you like by your feet off a cliff and go, well, we probably won't drop you. Yeah, there's some percentage chance that we will. But hey, you shouldn't have had sex.
Once she's safe, we'll let you go.
Yeah, that's right. Francesca, perfect point. The minute the woman is safe, the man is safe. We can come up with other different ways to torture the man who made the mistake of having sex, because you're finding different ways to torture the women.
Yep.
That's real. That's real. It's not theoretical. Those are real women. You saw her with your own eyes. And they say, keep the dead fetus inside of you, and we're gonna torture you with that for weeks. Okay, where's the guy who had, I mean, what do we, show me a Republican man. Let's do the same exact torture to him. Maybe we stuff a dead, any carcass inside his body and say, now you carry that for 2 weeks, okay? Why is that not the same thing?
Take whatever is on Ted Cruz's face and put it on the inside of him.
Yeah, we can find a way to get it inside you, don't worry, okay? And so, same rules. Oh, but if it's applied to men, all of a sudden Republicans are out. No. You can't do that to a cherished man. Women, you can do anything you want to. If you're a woman, you vote for Republicans, you're giving away all of your rights. So, yeah, good luck to you. I hope that the new American Taliban are kind to their women, but I know for a fact that they are not. So enjoy your fundamentalist lunatic party.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.